Farmers can use new technology to enhance their decision-making and increase their production. This year, the Grain SA's annual Nampo Harvest Day focuses on digital solutions for farmers under the theme Embracing Connectivity for Sustainable Growth. The week-long expo kicked off in Bothaville in the Free State on Tuesday, with hundreds from the farming community attending. Exploring new digital farming solutions, this is what farmers at this year's Nampo Harvest Day are doing. The organizers aim to create a platform for farmers to leverage digital solutions to overcome traditional challenges and take their operations forward. Advanced technologies that are able to aid conventional as well as new age farmers were exhibited. Stephan Janse van Rensburg, Digital and Partnership Coordinator for Bayer in South Africa, joins us to discuss this. A very good evening to you. Thank you so much for your time. New interventions all helping and aiding farmers to essentially do their jobs more effectively. Talk to us about some of these ventures and technology being used with farming. How do they impact the day-to-day lives of farmers?
Thank you, Nampo. Good to chat to you after a long first day at Nampo, but a very exciting day. We have I'm outside of Bothaville on a farm, so we have a patchy connection. So just apologies if I get stuck, but let's go for it. Towards your question, Bayer South Africa, the Crop Science Division, especially the digital part, we have a mission that we say health for all and hunger for none. And we invested quite a lot of energy and resources into that mission. And I think digital forms a part of it. So from a Bayer Crop Science side, we try to put tools into the toolbox, and we saw a lot of tools today at Nampo. Different tools in terms of digital to help farmers with that decision making. Very important to stay on the farm, produce more with less, and be more profitable.
Let's talk a little bit about the practicality. How would these digital tools, for instance, affect or assist a dairy farmer?
A dairy farmer, that's the interesting one. But I mean, for all farmers, there are different tools available, from small to large commercial farming practices. Looking at mid-season crop monitoring tools, for example, which a dairy farmer can use to monitor the amount of forage available for his cows, and to plan accordingly. But that's available on our platform, Climate Field View, but on numerous other platforms, and for even for free in some cases, where a farmer can just create an online account, for example, on Sentinel Hub, and have access to this kind of satellite information that you can use to track fodder, for example, in a dairy farming practice, but also crop health in row crops.
And let's talk a little bit about some of the pressing challenges. I mean, the weather patterns and the effects of El Nino. How is this technology able to assist farmers in mitigating some of the big crises that may arise from such weather patterns?
Yeah, so this year was a very difficult year for South African row crop farmers, especially in the western parts of South Africa. We had our last rains in the west was beginning of January, and we had a very warm and dry last part of the season. How do we use technology to mitigate those influences factors? Is to help us plan. We need to understand our fields, we need to understand our farms better, and the impact of our decisions in our current practice. So for us, capturing accurate data on a platform that a farmer can use in similar years going forward. So for example, this is not a new phenomenon, right? So in 2017, for example, we had more or less the same type of rainfall, same type of season. And if a farmer used his data from 2017, it would have allowed him to plan better for this kind of scenario and mitigate those factors.
And In terms of some of the opportunities that come with this Nampo event, how are farmers learning and sharing experiences insofar as some of the big topics that are being discovered there and the interactions with some of the exhibitors?
So after walking around today, there's quite exciting products and services and solutions coming into the market in the digital space. From I would say robotics to drones, satellite imagery we touched on. But I think each company is investing in some kind of digital solution, and the core focus is the benefit to the farmer. And I think the adoption in South Africa, our farmers are adopting quite well to the new technology, and they are asking for this. We farm in South Africa under challenging circumstances. We talked about the weather, but also input cost is keeping on rising. Which is worrying. And as farmers, we cannot farm like we used to do 10 years ago. So we need to make informed decisions. We need backed by good data, and we need to keep on, as companies, ensuring that our farmers stays profitable and in the business.
How are farmers reacting to the introduction of some of these interventions? I mean, it may be intimidating to some who are not in tune with the digital technology and spaces.
I think because farmers are under pressure today, I think the adoption rate in South Africa, our client base specifically, the adoption rate is quite high. Farmers are excited. We saw a high adoption in technology in the past few years. In Bayer Crop Science, we have a platform called Climate Field View, which is commercially available for the past 2 years, and the numbers are growing significantly year on year. I think the challenge is once we adapted this kind of technology on farm, how do we use it to make better decisions? And the challenge for companies is bringing customized solutions, tailored solutions for a specific farmer in a specific sector or using specific practices. How do we influence that, and how do we take all of this together using our technology in seeds and traits, our digital and our crop portfolio in Bayer Crop Science to bring a tailored solution to the farm to really make an impact.
And very lastly, Janse, before we let you go, Stephan, pardon me, what are some of the other topics that are going to stand out throughout this event as farmers and producers all come together under one roof to talk to some of the pressing problems that are being experienced within the sector?
Yeah, interesting topics, I would say. Obviously, the weather we touched on, a very difficult year for farming in South Africa, especially in the western parts. But with the election coming up, there's some exciting discussions and opportunities as well, I believe. But overall, I think if we look at a global scenario, I think food security is high on the priority list of governments all over the world. People won't get less, and we need to produce more on less amount of area with less inputs, because sustainability also becomes a big topic. So we need to produce more on a smaller area using less fertilizer, less chemicals, and increase our yields to be able to feed the population, of course.